The abandoned factory, the colossal chemical factory, stood silent, shrouded in desolation. Suddenly, that night, terrifying screams echoed from its depths, followed by a sharp explosion. A car burst out from the factory gates and sped madly down the empty roads. At the wheel was 22-year-old Arkana, her face ghostly white, eyes wide with an unknown terror, driving as if death itself chased her. With trembling hands, she dialed her brother. Adel, Baya, listen. I have to tell you something important. The call disconnected. At that moment, a monstrous shadow loomed before her car. She slammed the brakes. A violent crash, a fiery blast, and the car was consumed in flames. 5 years later, Ravipuram, once a thriving industrial town, was now a toxic, forbidden graveyard. Officially, a gas leak had caused the disaster that claimed hundreds. The area was sealed. No one entered. No questions were asked. In Delhi, Adel returned to his empty apartment, his gaze lingering on Arkana's photograph. I still believe you're out there, he whispered. That night, the nightmare returned. He was inside the ravaged factory. A voice hissed, Baya, I am behind you. He turned to see Arkana, but her eyes were rotten, her skin charred. Free us, she pleaded, before he jolted awake, sweating. The next evening, his girlfriend Tanya and friend Gaurav visited. I saw a video, Tanya said urgently. A YouTuber claimed the Ravipuram disaster wasn't an accident. It was a human experiment turning people into something not dead, not alive. The video was deleted within hours. Gaurav nodded. The government is hiding something. Why else seal an entire town? Atal's resolve hardened. He told them of his recurring dream. Arkana is calling me. We have to go. Despite the dangers, they devised a plan. Into the wasteland. Hours later, they abandoned their car at a forest's edge and trekked towards Ravipuram. The town was a frozen snapshot of abandonment. Meals left to rot, laundry still hanging. An eerie silence was broken by a guttural groan. From a shattered doorway, a figure emerged. Its flesh was peeling, eyes glowing a sickly red. It moved with unnatural jerks. A zombie, Tanya breathed. The creature lunged with impossible speed, its teeth sinking into Tanya's neck before anyone could react. Her screams were cut short. Adel and Gaurav tried to pull it away, but it threw them aside with brutal force. Run, Gaurav yelled. As more horrific cries answered from the shadows, they spotted the main factory and sprinted. Inside, barricading the door, the interior was a charnel house. Burnt corpses littered the floor. Then, one of them twitched. A blackened hand moved. One by one, the scorched bodies began to rise, their hollow eyes fixing on the intruders. They're all zombies, Gaurav gasped. A familiar voice cut through the horror. This way, quickly, from a dark corridor. Arkana appeared. Atal's heart clenched. She was as in his dreams, partially transformed. Her skin gray, veins pulsing with a toxic green. But her eyes held a shred of her old self. Arkana, there's no time, she said, her voice strained. I'm fighting it. But the chemical, it's changing me. They experimented on us. This was never a factory. It was a lab to create biological weapons. Something went wrong. The subjects turned violent, overran the scientists. The government bombed the place to cover it up. How do we stop this? Adel pleaded. The source is in the basement. Raghav, the factory owner. He's the first subject. Now a thinking zombie. He commands the others. There's a neutralizing gas capsule near his chamber. Release it outside, and it will purge the toxin, destroying them all. He guards it fiercely. Arkana pushed them towards a stairwell. I can't go further. The hunger, it's too strong. Go, end this. The final confrontation in the damp basement. They found Raghav. He was more monster than man, intelligence gleaming in his feral eyes. Fresh blood. He rasped, smiling. As Raghav pounced on Gaurav, Adel spotted the glowing capsule. He grabbed it and fled. Raghav's enraged roars echoing behind him. He didn't look back as Gaurav's cries were silenced. Bursting into the open, Adel faced a new horror. Tanya and Gaurav, now turned, shambled towards him. Behind them, dozens more emerged from the ruins. At the factory entrance, Arkana stood watching, a single tear cutting through the grime on her cheek. I'm sorry, Adel whispered. With all his strength, he hurled the capsule onto the concrete ground. It shattered. A colorless gas erupted, spreading in a silent wave. Where it touched the zombies, they seized up, their toxic flesh dissolving into ash. The gas reached Arkana. For a moment, their eyes met gratitude and peace in hers. Then, she too crumbled into dust. The eerie wails of Ravipuram faded into an absolute, final silence, broken only by the crackle of dying embers. Adel stood alone amidst the settling ash, the weight of his lost world on his shoulders. He turned and began the long walk back. leaving the poisonous city to its eternal rest. The secret was buried, but the cost was etched into his soul forever.